Commonly asked question today is, what is unapplied labor? Unapplied labor is simply adjustment to cost of sales, right? So as an adjustment to cost of sales on a financial statement that goes into an unapplied labor account is an adjustment plus or minus to the cost of sales, which wasn't reflected on a repair order. So unapplied labor, by definition, would be any wages that were paid to a technician that were not attributed to a billed hour on a repair order. To give you a few examples of that, one would be a guarantee. If you have a technician that is paid a guaranteed wage on a weekly basis and he's normally paid on a flat rate scale, if the technician didn't generate enough hours to meet that minimum guarantee, any wages paid to the technician between what he produced and what we paid him would be billed to unapplied labor. Another example of unapplied labor would be productivity bonuses. Productivity bonuses are bonuses that are generally paid to technicians who have exceeded expectations with regard to generation of flat rate hours. For example, I have an agreement with the technician. I pay him $27, $28 an hour, but if that technician produces 50 or more hours, I've agreed to pay him an extra $1, $1.50 per hour that he's produced. And of course, those additional wages weren't initially attributed or billed back to that repair order. Therefore, it's additional wages we paid, which go back into unapplied labor. Another example of that would be if you have hourly technicians, and hourly technicians are paid based on their hours that they work, $15, $17, $18 an hour. And as we go through the course of a week, those technicians are and should be flagging hours against the repair orders that they're working on. But if my agreement is to pay that technician a 40-hour work week for 40 hours worked, but that technician only produced 30 hours during that given week, the additional 10 hours of wages that I paid that technician would get charged back against my unapplied labor or adjustment to cost of sales, because I did have expense on that technician that wasn't attributed to a billed hour on a repair order. And then lastly, and most commonly, is just simple adjustments in accounting. Somebody may have fat-fingered a technician's number, so we paid the wrong technician for a job, and if there was a difference between the wages the technician who was paid for the job versus the technician who should have been paid for the job, that plus or minus adjustment would also go into unapplied labor. Simply put, that's a simple explanation of unapplied labor.